Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. It's Wednesday night basketball. It's the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And now, let's go to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke.
Oklahoma City, land of the Thunder, in a fine Western Conference battle here at the Chesapeake Energy Arena. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. In breaking down the game, let's take a look here at Manu Ginobili.
Well, Ginobili has a knack for taking charges defensively, great anticipation skills, and he's really quick. He's a phenomenal athlete. So he beats his player to the spot, and then he's willing to take the contact.
But that's just part of the larger picture for Manu. I mean, he is just a winner on the basketball court, a terrific competitor. He does everything he can to help his team win and to give him an edge. Taking the charge, running down loose balls, hitting clutch shots. Whatever you need, he'll try to give it to you.
And the Spurs looking for a positive start here on their road trip. So important to get off on the right foot. New year, new season. These guys have done it.
You know, for the Spurs, I mean, this team has been kind of hit or miss to start the season so far. Not really playing up to the high standards they normally expect.
Yeah, an elite team, you know, I think they understand they can play better than this, and they will as the season wears on. They've just got to find their rhythm.
Splitter gets the screen from Leonard. Parker against Westbrook. Parker passes to Splitter. Out of bounds, Oklahoma City takes possession.
The Spurs have always been very mindful of resting key players during the regular season. Some of it has to do with age of their players. Some of it is regarding talent because they knew they were a playoff team most years. And you look at the research, there is something to be said for not playing guys when they're fatigued because injuries are more likely if you play tired.
Now it's sent it over to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Scott Brooks.
I asked him what they needed to key in on defensively, and he said, well, we've got to limit penetration by Tony Parker. He's really the, quote, head of the snake, and with his floater, he doesn't need to get all the way to the rim to score. It's crucial that we do our best to keep him outside the lane. Guys, that's no easy assignment. We'll see how much success they have defensively.
Thanks, Doris. And back to the Spurs and their strategy of resting their star players, not without some controversy. The NBA, as you may recall, fined the Spurs and Coach Popovich for sitting all their starting players for a nationally televised game back in November.
Well, it was their fourth game in 5 nights, and Pop wanted to rest some of their guys because of just the nature of their schedule. But I think the problem was he didn't give the league advance warning. In that game against Miami, when he rested those 3 players, he actually sent them home. And I think that was a little shot at the league. And that's why there was a problem, and that's why the Spurs and Popovich ended up getting fined. He's definitely got that shot in his arsenal.
Oklahoma City comes into this one after the win against the Utah Jazz.
And I thought, guys, they were the beneficiary of what was some lackluster defense being played against them.
I agree with you. I mean, it was really shocking how many free runs to the hoop they got.
Shot clock at 6. There's the steal. And now in transition is Parker. Here we go. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Now, this is why the breakaway rim was invented. For plays just like that.
Well, he almost brought the whole thing down, Clark, by hanging on that long.
Yeah, he did.
It was a great dunk and also a great game we've got here.
A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Spurs.
Boy, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
Here's Westbrook after the basket by San Antonio. Cephalosha kicks to Lamb. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Parker leading the charge. Ginobili can't hit.
You know, one thing with Scott Brooks, guys, he's very consistent with his message. You listen in on those timeouts. It's all about getting stops. Defense, 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 and letting their offense come from that. You know, that's a problem he has. I mean, not being able to knock down that open jumper. I think it happens far too often.
Wide open look. Good. He hits the jump shot. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. And Clark, you mentioned Brooks' single-mindedness. He stayed pretty constant with his rotations, too.
And there's no doubt players appreciate knowing their role, but you know, a lot of critics have been surprised at how Brooks was stuck to his lineups. Some lineups that didn't seem to be all that effective. You know, usual starting lineup with Cephalosha and Perkins on the floor hasn't been their best in terms of plus minus, but looks very loyal to his starting group.
4 or 5 shots have dropped for them already. Not a bad way to get things started.
Kendrick Perkins, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Ginobili on the wing. Ginobili right side. Takes it out to Leonard. It's stolen by Leonard. Here's Durant, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
High octane for sure.
Yeah, turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities, that's what it's all about.
Roberson, he's checked in for Jeremy Lamb.
Kevin Durant is one of the most laid-back and easygoing guys you'll meet in the NBA, but don't be fooled. He's as fiery a competitor on the court as anyone else in the league. He's a superstar because he has the talent, but also the drive.
The Thunder leading by 3. Guys, a potent offense right now.
Yeah, Kevin, really the offense is flowing quite nicely right now.
Playing with a lot of confidence, just some self-assurance. I like what we're seeing.
Now here's Perkins. 8 points his last outing. And I think when you talk about the drive of Kevin Durant, Clark, it all comes from his love of the game.
I love watching Kevin Durant play. He is such a special talent, and you can see the inherent joy that he has in playing the game. I mean, it's palpable. It's obvious. He's a big-time gym rat, and he just loves to work on the game and continue to refine his skills. He's a joy to watch.
So it's the Thunder now. After the basket by S.Antonio. Westbrook dishes to Perkins. Again, the Thunder score. Last game for the Spurs. They pick up the W against New Orleans.
And what they did well in that game, Kevin, was attack the rim. They got to the free throw line and they converted once they got there.
Yeah, it was hard-nosed basketball and fundamental basketball at the same time. Physical and aggressive, that's a recipe for success.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Terrence Williams is checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Green comes in for Ginobili. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker.
Well, with him, what immediately comes to mind is the long-range shooting. I mean, he can knock down shots from anywhere, and, of course, that forces the defense to locate him at all times.
And offensively, you'll find him often lurking on those corners. Always a high percentage shot among three-pointers, and especially for him.
And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for Oklahoma City.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
Yeah, I do too, and I think they're also getting some good looks in transition, doing a nice job of running the floor.
Put together a great team, fans can get a little wild. When you put together a great team that's exciting to watch too, then they really get wild. And that's what you have to deal with when you go to Oklahoma City. A great team with terrific fans.
Here's Mills after the made shot from Roberson. Mills passes to Splitter. That's good. Splitters.
Too many of those to keep track of. What a contest.
Derek Fisher's checked in for Russell Westbrook. And back to these great fans in Oklahoma City. They hosted the Hornets for 1 season in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, you recall. And Steve really showed what a great crowd they could be for a team.
Kevin, I agree, and I think that season when they hosted the Hornets, I think that showed the league that Oklahoma City was ready to become a franchise, and that's why the move from Seattle to Oklahoma City was allowed by the league, because the city had proven that they would support the club.
Offensive rebound, Pendergraft, and another shot. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And the defense looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Yeah, I like that. A foul to save the layup. Make him earn it at the line.
Good on the second free throw.
You know, so much has been said about the Oklahoma City home court advantage, and for good reason. I mean, you can feel it and hear it like a college atmosphere.
That's a good point. No good from Roberson. San Antonio trailing here. Now Mills. Open shot. Green. They get it back. Splitter. That's good. Splitter's got 5 now. Clark and Steve, this tug-of-war game continues.
You know what? And they just keep flip-flopping the lead again and again and again.
Yeah, how about that last lead change, guys? That's number 7 for the game.
Clark, back to what you said. Not only can you hear it when they are here, you can literally feel it. The rumbling, Steve. when you first come out of the tunnel is amazing.
Well, the Thunder have a fantastic team, Kevin, and you know they've been good the last few years, but you don't go 34-7 at home like they did last season without a significant advantage coming from the crowd, and I think that's been the case here. The crowd is loud and active and fired up every single night. Everybody on the floor is hot. Incredible stuff here in the early stages.
Tell you what, both teams playing downhill. Who's going to blink first?
The three from Mills. And again, it's San Antonio with a three. Here's Perkins. And not sure what he was thinking there. No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. Tune in. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
Yeah, this team is on the same page, no question. They're right where they need to be offensively.
And they're hitting their scores with on-time and on-target passes, too. That's fun to watch.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So the Thunder 5 right now. Ran outside at the 3 with Ibaka playing the power forward. Backcourt is Westbrook and Cephalosha. And it's Lamb at the pivot spot manning the middle. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Guys, Kevin Durant last season joined the exclusive 180 club. Over 50% from the field, 40% from three-point territory, and 90% from the line. It's the gold standard of shooting efficiency, something only 5 other players have done in NBA history. It was a goal of his going into the season, but his ultimate goal still remains, to win an NBA title. He said, quote, "The hunger is always there. That's my goal every year, to get to the top of the mountain." Guys, he knows it's a long road, but they've gotten so close. We'll see if this is his year.
Yeah, a championship mentality, Doris. Good point. Thanks. Here is Ibaka after the made shot from Split. And that one's good.
Coach Popovich was fined last season for sitting out his top players in a nationally televised matchup against the Heat. I certainly understand the league's posture there, and it was a lot said about it. Yet, for a veteran team like the Spurs with championship aspirations, I understand resting key players during the course of the regular season.
Here's what San Antonio is going with right now. Kawhi Leonard is checked in for Splitter. And it's Ginobili in for Terrence Williams. Here's Lamb. The rebound by the Spurs.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
And back to that fine for Popovich, $250,000. Steve, that'll leave a dent.
Yeah, no doubt. But, you know, Popovich enjoys tweaking the league at times. This was clearly an effort to do that. But, look, I think it's good for him to actually, you know, kind of let the league know every once in a while that if you're going to give us that kind of schedule with my older team, I'm going to sit them down once in a while. Well, he's so hard to stop, guys, because he poses a ton of matchup problems for the defense.
Joseph, that's good.
Their low post defense has to show some improvement, guys.
Yeah, of the last 10 points, Steve, 8 have come from in tight.
Here's Bellinelli, defended by Ibaka. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him the last 10 games. Russell Westbrook, number 1.
And all those swipes have come for him because of the endless energy he devotes defensively. And whoever he's guarding, he just stays so close to him on the perimeter.
Yeah, he's the guy, if you're an opposing point guard, that you dread having to go up against. I mean, you don't want to see this guy because, like you said, he's going to be all over you. Like bees on a pop can at a picnic. That's how much he hovers around you.
You got away with words, my friend.
And that one's good.
Got 3 3-pointers here in this quarter, 4 overall. I think Westbrook may be the most explosive player in the game right now. I mean, you've got Wade, Kobe, Derrick Rose, but I think Russell Westbrook, with his speed and quickness, is probably the guy right now.
Knocks it loose. Tries to keep it alive. Westbrook with the steal. Tim Duncan with the rebound.
An easy look there, but, you know, he misses those once in a while.
Got a piece of it. And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds. And Westbrook really a freak athlete. Clark, a terrific dunker.
Yeah, he's a guy you would just love to see in the dunk contest, Kevin. But he says he's more of a game dunker and might not shine in the exhibition type format. And I can understand that. The dunks that Russell does in games are so vicious and so posterizing that it's hard to create that same type of tenacity and energy in a contest. So I think there are some guys that are more geared towards dunking in games than winning dunk contests.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
Let's take a moment now, Kevin, to see how the Spurs are doing in the NBA statisticals currently. First in free throw shooting, third in assists, and they are in the top 10 in team points per game.
And anytime you lead the league in free throw shooting, as you talked about, Clark, I mean, you can put a lot of pressure on the defense, and that's why this team has made a concerted effort to attack the rim and get to the line as often as possible.
A dramatic improvement for the San Antonio Spurs defensively last season, guys. Coach Pop had suggested that they might have gotten too old to be an elite defender.
November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You look at the Spurs. So far, they've got the 4th best record in the conference. And, of course, Oklahoma City. Right on their tail, vying to move up and take over if they get the chance.
You know, checking out San Antonio, they've been very solid early on. I've been quite impressed with this team. But for a team with championship aspirations, solid just isn't quite good enough.
Well, it's such a tough league. So many good teams, Clark. But, you know, it's a long season and plenty of time to get into gear. I think, you know, playoff seeding is important, but the biggest thing right now is to try to get into a groove and find their stride.
And Clark, you mentioned the defensive improvement of the Spurs. Going into last season, their stat gurus told them they needed to focus even more on contesting shots, even if that meant committing more fouls or allowing more offensive rebounds.
Well, that's exactly what they did, Kevin. They gave up a few more offensive rebounds, fouled slightly more than they had the prior season, but they were better in terms of shot blocks, steals, and they held their opponents to a lower field goal percentage. So a great example of getting an edge from advanced stats.
Offensive rebound. Here is Splitter, defended by Lamb. Parker kicks to Ginobili. No good on the 3.
Boy, that's a surprising miss right there. He usually feasts on those wide open opportunities.
Back to Ibaka. Outside for Durant. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Shakes off the strong D and gets the bucket for 2. 6 points for Serge Ibaka. It's stolen by Ibaka. Lets it go from 14. Here's Cephalosha, and good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points.
He didn't get off to much of a start early on, but he seems to have shaken off the rust here in the quarter.
Parker kicks to Leonard. And it's blocked by Ibaka. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke, reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, as you know, gentlemen, Greg Popovich is one of the foremost practitioners of the intentional fouling that sends poor free throw shooters to the line. Not exactly a fan favorite, and Pop says, quote, I think it's ugly, I think it's awful, but it's legal, it's there. If somebody doesn't want to get hacked, they should shoot free throws better. Guys, he's all about winning. Whether it's pretty or ugly, he doesn't care.
They wear you down, Doris. Thank you so much. Terrence Williams is checked in for Tim Duncan. Here's Parker. Russell Westbrook with the rebound. Thunder trailing by 8. And he uses both hands to jam it in. Out of this world. Aerial skills for a guy of his size.
Kevin, that's what separates him from some of the other point guards around the league. The ability to rise and throw it down.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that spurs them on. Maybe sparks a little bit of a comeback here.
And that one's good. Parker.
Boy, the drive to the bucket was nice, but how about the finger roll finish? Beautiful.
Oklahoma City's gone 6 of 12 from outside. A very nice 50% mark. Shooting the 3-ball well.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Here's DeCola. Splitter. He's covered by Westbrook. Gets it to go. Parker's got 4 this quarter.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
Yeah, and it's a strategy that has served them well in this opening half, Clark. Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's gotten it going now.
Here's DeColo. No good. Some solid defensive work there from Cephalosha. Thunder trailing by 5. Left side, Westbrook. Good D by Parker. San Antonio's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And
Incredible.
Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Still, I mean, it's startling that he'd even try that right now.
Back to Parker. Kicks to Williams. There's the pass to Parker. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Cephalosha's got his 3rd rebound tonight. And this matchup with the Spurs, it's their first meeting of the season.
Well, we saw how competitive and entertaining the season series was between these two teams last year. That was fun to watch.
Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Spurs lead break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out away here in the third. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game. He has been everywhere.
Boy, he put on a show from the three-point line in the first half, didn't he? We'll see if the halftime break had any cooling effect on him.
Yeah, we'll soon find out because I guarantee they're going to keep feeding it to him behind the arc until he does cool off.
On the floor for San Antonio, Ginobili and Leonard on the wings. Down low, it's Duncan and Splitter, and it's Parker in at the 1 spot.
Won't happen right away, but Jeremy Lamb has all the tools, I think, to be a fantastic defender at the NBA level. Young players oftentimes take a couple of years to figure it out defensively, but he's got everything he needs to be elite at that end.
Here's Ginobili. Kevin Durant picking up that last basket. That's good. 8 points for Manu Ginobili. And not even 3/4 out of the way. So many lead changes.
One heck of a game to me. Guys, this has been outstanding in terms of the effort that both sides have been able to put on.
I get over there and Steve, he's enjoying every second of it.
Yes, me too.
Man, this has been great, guys. The fans getting their money's worth. Both teams just playing so hard out there.
And Jeremy Lamb, a 6'11" wingspan for this kid. He's shown promise offensively as well.
Very smooth with that jump shot. He can finish big time when he gets to the rim. Still young and paying his dues, but you got to love his upside. A lot of potential.
Oklahoma City trailing. Leonard with the steal. Ginobili right side. Dishes it to Parker. And there's the foul. It goes on Serge Ibaka. That's foul number 2 for him. Duncan, the pass to Parker. Rejected by Westbrook. 4 on 3 as they bring it up. And Lamb kicks to Cephalosha. And it's out of bounds. The Thunder able to retain possession. And take a look at this. Every team loves to have guys like these. Big men who can pass like guards. These are their assist totals on the season. In the 3rd spot, Tim Duncan.
And these are some of the most complete players in the NBA. They're not just traditional score and rebound big men. They can beat you with their passing, too.
Yeah, that's the element of their game that puts them in a different category, a special category amongst low post players. I mean, they've got court vision, they see things, they anticipate, and they're much better at that than their peers.
And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half.
Well, you could see it at the start of the season that Oklahoma City was being driven by falling short in the 2012 final. Their focus was on being the best team in the West, and they jumped on that goal right from the start.
And for the Thunder, the 2nd best regular season record in the league last season, Steve, at 60-22.
Well, and they had the best point differential in the league, Kevin, which I think is probably the best barometer in terms of how well you're playing. But clearly the Westbrook injury in the first round of the playoffs against Houston just completely took the wind out of their sails. And I would look for Oklahoma City to be back this year. With everybody healthy, they'll have a chip on their shoulders. They want to get back to the finals this year.
And here is Ginobili following Jeremy Lamb's 3. Ginobili with the ball. Now guarded by Cephalosha. Leonard. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili.
Fine all-around player. I mean, he's as fun to watch as any guy in the league. He scores, he defends, has a nose for the ball. He does everything, and usually he packs a bunch of production into short stints of playing time. He's now in his mid-30s. The question becomes for him is health. And how much longer can he go at the level he's played at throughout his career?
Here's Ginobili following the score by Serge Ibaka. And that's a foul. It's called on Thabo Sefolosha. That is his first foul of the game. Ginobili outside. Feeds it to Leonard. Broke loose. Rocket 6. He kicks it to Duncan. Trying his luck deep.
Down in the game right now, they're pressing a little bit, trying to get back with the three-point shot. The three-point shot can be a very valuable weapon, but it has to be used smartly and judiciously. You can't fall in love with the three.
And for Ginobili last season, his shooting percentages dipped just a little bit. Now 36 years old. He's, breaking down, it seems like on a more regular basis. Is he starting to fade in your eyes?
Sure, he is, but he's still capable of playing out of his mind on any given night. And that's what you want from a guy like that at his age. You're not going to get it every night, but can he continue to help you win games? No question, Ginobili, he showed that last year.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Well, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close. Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
Kawhi Leonard is checked in for the Spurs. Bellinelli comes in for Manu Ginobili.
He's as close to a sure thing as you can possibly have when he steps to the line.
Westbrook kicks to Ibaka. Lamb. Soft touch off the glass. Lamb's got 12.
His shooting's been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons his team is up in this game.
Now here's Parker. 8 points for him. Leonard kicks to Bellinelli. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. He's got 9.
And with the defense playing that well, the double clutch was the only way he was going to get that ball off.
In low to Ibaka. Green inside. By Sefolosha. And it's Green with the jam.
Now that is a quick bucket. Pretty good in transition.
That's right. That's exactly right. He loves when he gets the chance to get out and run. That's when he's at his best.
Now here is Ibaka. He's got 10. Great D that time from Leonard.
He's got a nice touch on that shot normally, but good defense there clogging the lane.
Ibaka pushes to Durant. The shot is off. Excellent D there from Leonard. For San Antonio, they've gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. He feeds it to Bellinelli. For the lead.
That foul gives him 4, so he's just 2 away from being Dairy Queen.
And to look at how the offense for the Thunder.
Well, their passing has been picturesque, a thing of beauty in both halves. More than a few of their baskets have come off assists.
And how about the touch they've displayed from long range, guys? I mean, as a team, they are really shooting the ball well and executing from the perimeter.
Right side, Green. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, he earned that one. Took the hit and still found a way to knock it down.
Yeah, fantastic body control. And the will to get it done. You like that focus.
Westbrook kicks to Durant. Back to Westbrook. And they get it. And he drops that one in. Westbrook's got 18 points. San Antonio's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half.
A big part of why the Spurs were so good last season, guys, was that they were able to finish games strong. You think a group of vets might run out of gas, but the opposite was true with this group. They turned it up down the stretch and were one of the most productive teams in the league in terms of fourth quarter points.
Collison, the pass to Westbrook. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Westbrook's got 20 points.
He is feeling a terrific percentage from the field.
And Mills kicks to Leonard. He passes to Mills. On Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Well, Clark, a big part of why the Spurs were so good last year in the fourth was because they have so many options when possessions, Steve, start getting critical and the game is tight.
Well, no question. You got Parker to create off the dribble. You can always throw it into the low post to Duncan. But on top of that, you've got a roster full of guys who understand how to play the game and know how to play each other. Just the experience that this group has gained together over the years, I think allows them to execute under pressure.
Free throw shooting is always critical in terms of outcomes of games. And the Thunder last year often had an advantage at the line. Not only did they get there at a high rate, they made their free throws at a high rate as well.
Now here's Leonard. 12 points for him. And Splitter backs down. The jump hook. That one a little long.
Great defense in the paint there, making it tough on the offense.
That's what he brings, a presence. I mean, you saw it on that miss.
Fires the three. And Jackson with the basket on the assist from Derek Fisher. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. Best shooting team at the free throw line last season by a good margin. Even actually the third best for a team in league history.
And as we talked about earlier, Kevin, it wasn't just the makes, it was the attempts. I mean, this is a club that can slash and attack the basket. They finished second in the NBA in free throw attempts. So what a combination to be able to get to the rim, get to the free throw line, and then convert.
6 on the shot clock. Mills gets the screen from Splitter. To halt the run. Keeps it alive. Great positioning on the putback. Splitter's got 9.
They're not as aggressive from the outside here, but maybe they should think about stretching the defense a little bit, like they did in the first half. I mean, stretching the defense makes it easier to score inside, too.
And it feels like the energy has just picked up big time here. Both teams now feeding off each other's intensity.
I don't know what was said in the locker rooms at halftime, Steve, but it's obvious both sides have responded well.
It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Joseph dishes to Leonard. Mills. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. He's got 8. Perkins with it. He's got 6. Pulls it up. And the shot no good, a bit short. Here's Joseph. Can't get it to go. And at the close of the first 3, we should be in for a treat. The backcourt is Westbrook and Cephalosha. Ran outside at the 3 with Ibaka playing the power forward. And it's Lamb at the 5, home in the paint. That's the lineup out there for the Thunder.
And one thing that Durant has made very clear in his young career is that he's going to be a factor in clutch situations. He wants the ball in his hands with the game on the line.
He's got that lean, thin body and looks a little wispy and carefree out there. But underneath that jersey beats the heart and edge of, I think, a killer in terms of putting the ball in the basket.
Cephalosha, guarded by Green. Cephalosha misses.
Boy, have they been hitting the glass hard or what? Kind of surprising in such a tight game.
Yeah, you're right. Very rarely will you out-rebound an opponent like that and not have it pay off.
Williams gets the bucket. And guys, here in the fourth quarter, still a close game.
Yeah, and actually still too close to call. I mean, this one is tight.
This could be an instant classic, fellas. I mean, this thing has all the looks of a game that's going to go right down to the last shot.
And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Tired legs can affect you at the defensive end, and I think that's what's happening right here.
I agree, because as much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
Patrick Mills, he's checked in for the Spurs. The dish to Green. No good from outside. Thunder have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Here's Ibaka. The basket good off the assist from Durant. Durant's got 4 assists in the game.
Yeah, the battle for that lay-in. Excellent, tough defense, but he found a way to get it down anyway.
Mills passes to Duncan. There's Williams with the 3. They get it back, and there's the foul. It goes on Serge Ibaka. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
Tough call there and a tough break for the defense.
But I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
Kawhi Leonard's checked in for Daniel Green. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. And Mills kicks to Splitter. Pass to Williams. The feed to Mills. The kick out to Williams. Spurs working the ball around now. Clock at 4. And the shot is good. The Thunder have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Cephalosha dishes to Durant. Passes it to Cephalosha. Westbrook. Cephalosha. He's guarded by Williams. Cephalosha kicks to Ibaka. Just 5 on the clock. Durant for 3. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. He dishes it to Leonard. Gives him the lead pass. Mills passes to Duncan. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
That's some grit and determination in the post. Essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Exactly. I mean, this is the time to attack on the interior and generate those easy opportunities. Not sure about that one, guys. That was really deep, especially for him. He's not a great shooter from out there.
Not sure what he was thinking about there.
And Leonard gets it to go.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
Tipped away. And Mills with a clear path to the hoop. Drops in the breakaway layup. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for the Spurs.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And they're also really getting out in transition and
Antonio. Otto Ginobili's checked in for Williams. And Tony Parker subbed in for Patrick Mills. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. It's been a hard-fought game, and he just wanted to give his guys a chance to catch their breath, saying, listen, we're right there. Let's make a push right here, put some pressure on them. Let's come out swinging. Kevin?
Durant dishes to Collison. Here's Fisher. The shot's good. Collison making the play. And San Antonio has possession. They get to take on the Magic at Orlando after this one. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip.
And I would think a lot of attention will be focused on that Orlando contest.
Ginobili attacking. Pass to Duncan. Back to Ginobili. Leonard for 3. Russell Westbrook with the rebound. Westbrook's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And Lamb kicks to Westbrook. Here's the fast break. Parker leading the way. And here is Lamb. Here's Collison. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Now it's a 4-point Thunder lead. San Antonio's gone beyond the arc 7 times here in the fourth and been successful 3 times. Here's Duncan. That one wide left.
Boy, we don't see that too often. No defender on him, and he just clanks the open jumper.
And Fisher kicks to Durant. And he banks in the layup. Durant's got 9 points here in the second half. Spurs trail by 6. Kicks to Duncan. Outside Leonard. The pass to Ginobili. And there's the call on Derek Fisher. That is his first foul of the game. Parker outside. Ginobili. To the paint. Here's Splitter. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Ginobili's got his 3rd assist on the night. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
That was a good time to call the timeout to try to settle everybody down and get back into their offensive rhythm. They've been coughing up the rock an awful lot.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Perkins is checked in. The Thunder leading by 4. Westbrook kicks to Perkins. Back to Westbrook. Dishes it to Fisher. Feeds it to Westbrook. Can't get it to go. And the Spurs going the other way now. Parker passes to Splitter. They get a hand on it. It's taken away by Collison. Here's Perkins. Gets it to go. And the Thunder
done after a turnover.
We've got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter. Ginobili, the finger roll finish at the bucket.
Such an aggressive attitude he has. No invitation needed for him to take it strong to the basket.
Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Fisher against Ginobili. And Fisher kicks to Collison. He feeds it to Fisher. Westbrook. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Now here's the fast break. Parker leading the way. And Duncan throws it down hard.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Yeah, what a way to wrap up that possession.
It's tipped. Parker with the steal. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Here's Leonard to tie it up. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, he's not the most flashy point guard out there, and you don't hear his name when people talk about the best point guards in the game, but I think Parker is one of the best in the business when it comes right down to it. He's able to do so many things out there for you, and just had a dominant season for the Spurs a year ago.
Steve, Parker's fearlessness going to the hoop is what makes him such a devastating player in crunch time. Often you see him go right into a bigger guy, take the contact, and still find a way to finish the play. Well, Westbrook has been great. 22 points, and he's drained 4 3-pointers here as well.
With more to come, maybe. The way his shot looks tonight, looks like he's in for a big night.
And so he drops them both. It's a 2-point ball game.
He's got ice water in his veins, fellas. No way he's going to miss from the line when the game's still hanging in the balance. I've seen him make too many in this situation.
After fighting back into it, they had a chance to tie this thing up.
Steve, I love it. They are not going away. They've brought it close right now.
Oh, that is a massive shot.
You know it is. He's stepping right into the spotlight.
There's 38 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Ginobili dishes to Duncan. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City, and now they decide to foul intentionally. Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5. And so both free throws are good. And it's a 6-point. 28 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. A different look for Oklahoma City. Ryan Gomes is checked in for Collison. Overson comes in for Derek Fisher. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Russell Westbrook.
Boy, just a brain cramp, guys. I mean, that should have been the simplest of exchanges.
Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock, and that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds. Here's Jackson. And so they foul intentionally. That's the first. That makes it a 7-point lead. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one.
Yeah, no way you can come back from this deficit.
Just not enough time left on the clock.
Again, the miss by the Spurs. So it's Oklahoma City picking up the win. They came, they saw, they conquered.
Hey, Kevin, to me, any win is a good win.
Well, that'll do it. For Dorisburg, Steve Curry.